Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, we'll continue our Azure hacking series from Own Labs. In our previous lab, we have gained an initial access in the Megabig Tech company and got the MOCAS credentials. And this lab is built on the previous one where we'll explore how to use MOCAS credentials to unlock the Azure Key Vault. That's why the lab name is Unlock Access with the Azure Key Vault. Here we got an entry point, like we got the same credential that we have gained from our intra user PowerShell script, like the same username and password. And here we have to submit our flag. You guys can tackle this lab using the GUI approach, but I'm gonna demonstrate it using the CLI because as a pen tester, it is essential to be proficient with both PowerShell and the command line. So we are gonna use the CLI approach to get our flag. So without further ado, let's see our scenario. Okay, so after successfully compromising the Azure user account, that is mocas@megabigtech.com, and gaining access to their cloud environment, Megabig Tech have asked us to see how far we can penetrate into their cloud environment and if we can access any confidential data. Specifically, they need us to assess the security of resources associated with the Azure subscription ID, and here we got our subscription ID. Lab prerequisites are same, that the basic Windows command line knowledge is required. And here we got the learning outcomes, that you will get the familiarity with the Azure CLI and PowerShell, and make sure that you guys have installed these two tools, that is Azure CLI and PowerShell, in your Linux operating system. Then you'll see how we can perform enumeration and access the secrets in Azure Key Vault. Okay, then we'll see how we can query the data in the storage table. Difficulty is beginner and focus is on red team. And here we got the real world context, that Azure Key Vault, which store sensitive data like secrets and certificates, are high value targets for attackers aiming to compromise multiple services. And additionally, high privileged contractor accounts that are not properly managed pose a risk for privilege escalation and are also attractive target for attackers. Yes, it's a very crucial service, and Azure Key Vault basically help us to protect our data by providing control access and auditing capabilities. And you guys can also say that Azure Key Vault is similar to an AWS secret manager, like both are designed to securely store and manage sensitive information. So before we start the lab, just a quick heads up that you will need to have Azure CLI, PowerShell, and the Microsoft Graph PowerShell SDK installed on your system. Now let's begin our attack. First, we need to log in using the MOCAS credential. So let's go up and copy the username and let's write az login. Let's paste the username here, click on next. Let's copy the password. Let's sign in. Don't save. Okay, so the subscription name is Microsoft Azure Sponsorship, the same subscription ID, and type a number or enter for no change. So let me enter. Okay, now let's see the detail about this current sign in Azure account and subscription, and for that I'm going to use 8az account show command. Let me clear the screen. This will be our command. Okay, environment name Azure Cloud, home tenant ID, status enable, and here we got the user information. Cool. Now let's see that this user has access to Microsoft Graph or not. Basically, Azure CLI does not provide a direct command to check the Microsoft Graph permissions for the sign-in user, but you guys can use it to acquire an access token for Microsoft Graph and then use it to make an API request. Okay, so let's see how we can acquire an access token for Microsoft Graph. Let me first clear the screen and we'll write AZ account get access token. We are specifying the command request on auth 2.0 access token. Like this access token are used to authenticate API request. And here we are using the resource option, and this option specifies the resource for which you want the access token. In this case, it is the Microsoft Graph API, which allow us to access Microsoft Cloud service resources. Okay, so when we run this command, it will authenticate with our Azure account and return a token that you can use to make authorized request to the Microsoft Graph API. So let me just hit enter. And yes, we got this access token, right? That means this user has access to the Microsoft Graph. Okay, here you can see the detail like expire on, subscription ID, tenant, and the token type is bearer. To further verify, you can use this access token to make a Graph API request. Like we can also use the curl command or any HTTP client tool to make a request. So let's see how we can do that. You just have to write, like first we'll create this variable, okay, that is token, and we are providing the same command, that is AZ account get access token. And here we are using this query parameter to extract the access token, and we want the output in a tab separated format. Let's hit enter, and now we can use the curl command. And here we are setting the header as authorization bearer, and we are providing this token. Basically, token is a placeholder for the actual token we have obtained here. And here we are using this URL endpoint, that is graph.microsoft.com, v1, that is version 1, and me is like the currently authenticated user. Okay, we have covered this command and HTTP headers in much more detail in the web request module of the HTTP Academy, and I highly recommend you guys to check out that video for a better understanding of these commands. And I'll drop the link in the description box, so it will be easy for you to learn this header information and everything. So now let's hit enter, and we get this data, that is the display name is Marcus Hutch, user principal name is this, ID is this. So this is how you can check whether the user has access to the Microsoft Graph or not. So now we know that this user has access to the Microsoft Graph. So let's first install the necessary module. Let me clear the screen, and let's first write pwsh to open the PowerShell. Okay, now let's install the module Microsoft.graph. I have already installed this module. Yes, okay, is already installed. So let's import this module Microsoft.graph.users. I'm sorry, users. Let's hit enter. Imported the module. Now let's connect to the Microsoft Graph. Marcus user, authentication complete. Let's go back. Let's see who we are, and for that we have to write AZ signed in user, and let's hit enter. Oh yes, so this is the flag that we have got in our previous lab. Now let's see the group membership of this user by running the following command. So we are using this command, that is get mg user member of, to retrieve information about the groups and the directory roles that this user is a member of. Okay, now let's hit enter. Okay, interesting, like directory readers is a built-in Azure Active Directory role that allows user to read directory data. Okay, it is often assigned to users who need to view user profiles or other directory information. So this user, this Mercus user, actually has this role. That means we can enumerate intra ID as well. So let's see if our current user has permission to access other Azure resources. And for that, we'll write this command, that is az resource list. Okay, let's hit enter. Okay, change time, created time, extended location. This is the subscription ID, resource group, content static provider, Microsoft Key Vault, and the vault name is ext contractors. Basically, this compromised user has access to the Azure Key Vault, and the Key Vault name is ext contractors. Interesting. Let's see if we can list the secrets of this vault. And I'm going to write this command, that is az key vault secret list. Let me clear the screen, and we have to write the vault name, that is ext contractor, and I want the output in a JSON format. Okay, so let's hit enter. Okay, the first, okay, the Elisa is there, Josh Harvey is there, and Ryan is there. Okay, we can also write grep command on ID. Okay, we are interested in ID. Let me clear the screen and hit enter. Okay, so these are the three users we have got. Let's see, we can see the key value of these secrets, and for that we have to write this command az key vault secret show, and we have to provide the name of the secret. Let's try with Elisa or Elsa, I don't know how to pronounce it. Copy the name, paste the name here, and we have to provide the vault name, that is ext contractors, and we want the output in a JSON format. Okay, let's hit enter. Okay, so for Elisa, the value is welcome 123 an exclamation mark. So it's kind of hectic, right? Like you have to provide the secret name, then you have to again provide the vault name. So let's use the script. I have already created script, so let me quickly show you. Cat retrieve vault secret. So this is the script that we are going to use. We are going to use the for each loop on all of these three secrets. Okay, we have to provide the secret name and the vault name, and we have already set these values here in a variable, that is vault name is ext contractor, and the secret names are Elisa, Josh, and Ryan. And here we are checking if the subscription was set successfully or not. Like last exit code is not equal to 0, like 0 means success. So if it is not equal to 0, that means it's a fail to set the subscription. Okay, and we'll exit from the script. And if we set the subscription successfully, then we'll use the same command, that is az key vault secret show name. Okay, and we are providing the secret name and vault name here. So let's just run this script. Let's hit enter. Yes, retrieving the secret of Elisa, Josh Harvey, Ryan. Let me open the notepad. So we got these three users and their passwords. Let's see if any of these names are present in the existing intra ID or not, or Active Directory. I think it's so confusing, like intra ID or Active Directory. Like I prefer to call it Active Directory because it's easy to understand what we are talking about. So let's see any of these users present in the intra ID users. And for that, we'll use the following command, that is azad user list, and we are searching the Alyssa, Josh, and Rayan, and we are interested in the display name, their UPN, that is user principal name, and job title, and we want this output in a table format. So let's hit enter. So we got Josh Harvey. That means Josh Harvey's account is present in the Active Directory. We can also verify it if you go to the Azure portal, and let's go to Microsoft Intra ID, that is Active Directory. Okay, here we have users, like 77 users, all users. Let's search Josh, and Josh Harvey is there, so let me click on that. Okay, so Josh Harvey, the object ID is this, user principal name. He has this one assigned role. Let's see the assigned role. So Josh also has this directory reader role. Cool. And let's see the group membership. Okay, so he is a member of this customer data access group or default directory group. We can also check the same detail with the help of CLI, with the help of this command. But first we have to get the user ID of this user, that is Josh Harvey. Let's copy the ID name. User ID is equal to, in double quotation we'll write the user ID, and let's hit enter. Then we're gonna use the same command, that is get mg user member of command, and here we are providing the user ID placeholder and the same result, that the customer database access is a group, directory reader is a role, and default directory is a group. Cool. Now let's see the role assignment of this user, that is Marcus user, and for that we'll use this command. Let me clear the screen. Like get AZ role assignment scope, we have to provide the subscription ID, select object, display name, and role definition name. Okay, we are interested in 2 fields. Let's hit enter. Oops, sorry. Key Vault administrator Marcus Hutch, Key Vault reader. Josh Harvey is also a reader. Customer data access, we have seen this group, and role definition is customer database access. So this is a role. So we are seeing the list of role assignments, like which user groups or service principal have been assigned specific roles in Azure. Okay, now let's use the Josh credentials, and first we have to log out. Okay, so we have to write az logout. Let's write az login. Use another account, and I've already copied the username of Josh. Next, and this is the password. Let's copy it, paste it here. Let's sign in. Look at retrieving tenant. Let's hit enter. Az account show. Now we are Josh. Great. So we have seen that Josh Harvey has been assigned the reader role, and the reader role in Azure grants read-only access to Azure resources. That means this user can view properties and setting but not modify them. Okay, and in our previous command we have seen customer database access group has been assigned this customer database access role, right? So let's dig into the permission that are assigned to the customer database access role, and for that we'll use the following command. So first let's clear the screen. So we are using this AZ role definition list, and this command is used to retrieve information about a specific custom role in Azure. Okay, custom role only, and we are interested in this role, that is customer database access. Okay, so let's see the definition of this role. Assign scope, resource group. Description is provide access to the Megabig Tech customer list and information about customers. And here we got the permission. We have this read access to the storage account, table services and table. Great. Role name is customer database access. Role type is custom role. So this means that this group gives member the ability to list storage tables and their values. So now let's list the storage accounts that are present in this account, and we're going to use the following command to list the storage account that are present in the subscription. Okay, the cust database, MBT website and security configs. Now let's see any storage table exists in this cust database storage account, and for that we'll write this command: storage table list, account name is cust database, output will be table, auth mode is login. Okay, and we got this one customers table. So we can use the storage entity query command to query the data. Like we are providing the table name, that is customers, account name is cust database, output will be in a table format, and auth mode will be login. Okay, let's hit enter. We got the flag, partition key, row key, card expiry, card number. Okay, we are currently logged in as Josh. And if we go to this cust database, let's go to storage browse. Okay, so we got blob containers, file shares, queues and tables. So let's click on tables, and we got this one table here, that is customers. So these are the data, that partition key, row key, timestamp, card expiry, card number, customer name, CVV. Okay, great. So we got our flag. Let's first copy our flag, copy it. Let's go to our lab, paste our flag and submit it. Congrats, you have successfully completed the challenge. Cool. Now let's see how we gain access to the Key Vault and obtain our flag. First, we got the Marcus credential, like we have compromised the Marcus account, and he has this role, that is directory reader role, which allow us to enumerate intra ID. We then enumerated the Azure resources and found the Azure Key Vault named ext contractor. Okay, this Marcus user can view and list the Azure Key Vault, and inside this vault we have seen 3 users like Josh, Harvey, Alyssa and Ryan, and we have also retrieved their password. Okay, next we have checked whether any of these contractor accounts were present in the intra ID, and we have found that Josh's account is present and it is still active, and Josh is also a member of the default directory group and the customer database access group, and he also holds the directory reader role. Okay, after further enumeration we found that this user has access to the storage account named cust database, MBT website and security config. These are the storage account we have already seen, and the important storage account is cust database, which contains this customer storage table, that is customer, and this Josh user can list and view all the customer details. So this is how we obtain the customer data and our flag. Now let's see why this breach occurred. So the breach began with the compromised IAM account that had access to an Azure Key Vault, and this vault contained credentials for several high-privileged user accounts, one of which matched an existing IAM user. We have already seen that in the intra ID, the Josh account was present. And we have also seen the unnecessary contractor account, that the presence of the contractor account was a critical factor here because its necessity should have been reevaluated and it could have been disabled or deleted to reduce risk, right? But Megabig Tech didn't take any action on that. Additionally, the contractor account was part of a group with the access to the customer storage table because there was a lack of encryption. This allowed the attacker to view confidential payment details for all Megabig Tech clients, and this combination of factors created a significant vulnerabilities. And the important point is the attack chain, which traced back to the previously accessible Azure Blob container, illustrated how easily any user on the internet could access sensitive information. So according to me, multiple avoidable mistakes contributed to this breach, demonstrating a clear need for strong security practices. So let's see how Megabig Tech can prevent future breaches, like to prevent incident like this from happening again. First, we have to regularly review our IAM accounts. Like we have to evaluate the necessity of contractor accounts and promptly disable or delete those that are no longer needed. And this reduces the attack surface basically. Then we have to implement the least privilege access, ensure that users and accounts only have the permissions they absolutely need to perform their task, and this minimizes potential exposure if an account is compromised. Then we have to strengthen our Azure Key Vault security. You have to use features like soft delete and purge protection for the key vault to prevent accidental deletion or compromise. We have to regularly assess policies and credentials that are stored in the vault, encrypt sensitive data. No doubt, we have to implement strong encryption for all sensitive data, both at rest and in transit. And this ensures that even if unauthorized access occurs, the data remain protected. Lastly, we have to conduct regular monitoring and auditing. We have to establish a routine for monitoring accounts, activities, and auditing access logs. This helps us to quickly identify any suspicious activities going on in our network, and we can respond it accordingly. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. I hope you like it. If you did, then please share this video with your friends and your colleagues who are interested in pen testing, and make sure that you guys are subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, take care and keep learning. Bye bye.